Greetings and welcome to Monster Legends, and another special feeding episode. This time we're going to be feeding a nature legendary that I picked up at the Emperor's Court Island event. And this, of course, is going to be Petro Loa. He is a legendary, he is nature, he's dragon, and he's like villain, and unfortunately he's only got one open ruin slot. I hear he's actually decent, though. He's supposedly an attacker, and he's not bad. So I guess we're going to find out, aren't we? So let me just find him a home. Okay, for you, that's a suitable home. Okay, I see he's very hands-on with his special skill there, or should I say, hooks on. Makes it easy to beat up your enemies, doesn't it? Maybe those hooks will cause bleeding. I don't know. Don't know anything about him, but let's find out. Anyway, I do know that's not going to be his name. No, we're not going to do that to him. We'll find a nice name for him. Anyway, this is Petro Loa. He is a legendary. He is nature. He is immune to possession. Interesting. His power is not so bad. His life is a little bit above normal. His speed's pretty good too. So he's got some good stats here. Let's check out the skills. Wrong Invocation deals low physical damage. And then we have Saraka deals moderate nature damage. And of course that very hooks on special skill. Cursed Collar. Deals heavy special damage to all enemies, makes all targets bleed, may poison all targets. Yeah, I figured from the hooks that he's probably going to be doing some bleeding. Kind of makes sense. And of course, he's nature, so poison. So that's pretty good. That's pretty good indeed. Sambra Cabra mixed Balthazar's cells with her own to create something like a personal bodyguard. But then the result, Petro Loa, turned out to be a violent, unpredictable creature who would assault anyone who came close, even Sambrakara, his own creator. Alright, so he's violent. He turns on anybody. Let's feed him up. What could possibly go wrong? So let's just go, and we're going to get to level 4, and it's not his final evolution. Interesting. Very interesting. Okay, let's continue to level 7, and we're going to come back for the food. Thank you! Food will make them come back. Because I want the skills! We're going to do this, aren't we? Okay, that skill! Deals moderate dark damage. Dark damage? Okay. Moderate dark damage, 50% chance of making target bleed. Okay, I'm guessing this is a mixture of the two genes that they were talking about. Alright. That's not a bad one. 50% though. We could lose that. You know, we want a 100% chance of bleeding, right? For our enemies, that is. Alright, let's continue to level 10. Deals moderate nature damage, 50% chance of poisoning target. Okay, we get those 50% out of there, it would start looking good. Definitely, start looking good. Alright, let's continue to level 15. Small mouths, now we're talking. 50% chance of making all targets bleed, 50% chance of poisoning all targets. Okay, that's kind of interesting. It would be better without the 50%, definitely. But for the moment, I guess I'll just throw it there. Because let's face it, there's no chance I'm keeping that. 50%. No. Alright, so let's continue to level 20. Another skill. Deals moderate dark damage. Okay, that's straight right to the point there, right? You know, just going to do moderate dark damage. I'll put that there because obviously I'm not going to keep that. Lots of zero cooldowns, though. Lots and lots. Hopefully that extends into the future, right? All right, let's continue to level 25. And his final form. Removes all negative status effects from itself. Heals self by 30%. Gets regeneration. Okay, that's kind of interesting. I would prefer an extra turn on the end there. I'm going to put that on the end because, let's face it, there's no chance I'm keeping that one. Okay, there he is, the final form. Don't get in his way. He will make you bleed. Let's continue to level 30. And more skills. Loa's Will. Gains precision, double damage. Okay. 2 rounds of double damage, too. I'm guessing that's self only, even though it says 1 ally. Well, yeah, I'm not keeping that one, so I might as well do this for now. I don't really like that one. I mean, it's got the long cooldown. I mean, you can understand the cooldown considering each of these guys are 2 rounds. I don't know. We'll have to see. I'm going to see what else he's got, right? Obviously. All right, let's continue to level 35. Deals massive nature damage, may poison target. Okay, so that is much better. All right. I'm not keeping that one. No, I'm just going to put that there. 3-round cooldown, though. It depends on what else he's got, right? Let's continue. To level 40. Deals very heavy dark damage, may make target bleed. Alright, so this is like the complement of this one. Heal self. Well, you know, obviously he's a damage dealer, so I'm thinking this, if I did keep a self buff, it would probably be this one, right? Alright, throw that in there. I'm hoping something shows up for that first spot. So let's continue. Maybe it'll be now. Maybe it'll be pronounceable. No. Good skill, it's just that you really can't take 2 self buffs, right? Mouths to feed. Deals heavy special damage to all enemies. Requires cooldown. Alright, so for now, obviously, I think that's meant to be there, right? Okay, it's pretty good damage. It's a little high on the stamina, but not too bad. And a 3-round cooldown. All right. He's going to be very susceptible to cooldown resetting. That's for sure. Very susceptible. Probably seen everything now. I'm guessing we have. So let's continue to 55. Yeah, I'm guessing we've seen everything. All right. And level 60. Yeah, right, exactly. There we go. I mean, I could take one of those, right? Massive. Very heavy. All right, so this one, it does the bleeding, though, you know? They're all 3-round cooldowns, though. That's the thing about it is. So, I guess we could just forget it and go with it. I mean, it might be a good idea to take one of these guys, one of the 0 cooldown ones. But, you know, you don't want to lose the effects, too. The effects can be very useful. All right, I'm going to say no. All right, I'm pretty sure that I saw everything. Right, okay, if we saw that one, of course. We just saw that one again. And that was the group one. I mean, that one's got a 0 cooldown to it. So, I mean, that might be something to consider. I mean, it's only a 50% chance, but he is attempting to do both of them. So he's going to land some of them. And it is something to do if your cooldowns get reset. So would I substitute that for this? Because the thing about it is he going to stop and take a turn to give himself precision and double damage? Is he going to have that opportunity? If I put this one in instead, worst case scenario, he gets his cooldowns reset, he can do this. I'll have to think about that. Maybe I'll try that in testing. If this one I don't know if it'll come up again, but yeah, it's something to think about. Okay, so let's take a look at the stats here. All right, power's not too bad. Life's above normal. Speed's not too bad, considering he's obviously a damage dealer. Like I said, the high cooldowns, all being 3, is a little bit of a concern. But his skills seem pretty good, so why don't we just talk about those skills? All right, let's start with Mouths to Feed. Deals heavy special damage to all enemies. Very just straightforward, no effects or anything. Would I have liked an effect? Yeah, I would have. This skill actually maybe makes you want to keep low as well for the double damage and the precision. Because of the fact that there is no effects here, you'd want this one to be as effective as possible. So if your denial does a really good job, maybe he can take a turn and do the buff and then come back with this and do a lot of damage. It is special damage too, so it's not going to be mitigated by anybody, unless of course there's some funny business going on there with War Masters or anything. Yeah, he gets the War Master that makes his team immune to special damage, and this is a worthless skill. But then again, it's a brave new world, isn't it? All right, let's move on to this one. Deals massive nature damage, may poison target. All right, really good nature hit. that will poison, assuming, it's not resisted or they're not immune or anything like that. Once again, these guys all have 3-round cooldowns, which is a little bit on the concerning side. If he gets his cooldowns reset, he's going to be sitting around twiddling his thumbs for a while. And, well, I guess his hooks, right? So that's kind of a concern. But this is a good hit, especially if he does have the double damage on. Really, really good, solid hit. And then we have this one, Low as Will. Gains precision and gains double damage, right? That's each one of them lasts for 2 turns. So if he gets the opportunity to put this buff down, then obviously his attacks are going to hit much harder. And his attacks all do heavy damage, right? I mean, they do heavy damage, very heavy damage, and massive damage. So in that case, he greatly benefits from double damage. And let's face it, everybody today benefits from precision, right? Because everybody is missing like crazy. It's the new world, right? Then we have this one. Deals very heavy dark damage, may make target bleed. Obviously, this is from his Balthazar heritage, right? So he's actually got really strong nature and darkness attacks, and then has a group special. So, that's not so bad right there, You got all those damages covered. And, of course, the possibility of increasing the damage, too. So, yeah, in terms of this guy, obviously this is a damage dealer. So, damage. I would say at least 2 damages there, because he does have dots, but it's going to be damage that's really going to be doing it, right? The power. So you probably want as much power as possible if you're going to use him. I would say 2 of them. He's got a decent speed, and you probably want him attacking as much as possible. I mean, the self-buff, too. Maybe you want the self-buff, and then to be able to attack quickly after that. So there is some kind of thing there for adding a self-speed onto him, He does have the buff. He can increase his damage and his precision. So there is a benefit there, instead of using a group speed to using a self speed, If it's self, then he's going to act more, and then he can take advantage of that self buff. All right, so he's okay. As I said, the one concern I have with him is the cooldowns on his single target attacks. I can understand the group one. I can understand the buff too, because 3-round cooldown, but the buffs last for 2 rounds, so I don't have a problem with that. The fact that they're both 3 rounds, these here, this one and this one, yeah, most 2, absolutely at most 2. And this one is the lower one. I would say maybe a 1 on that one. It kind of makes you possibly want to grab one of the other skills that have a 0 cooldown. It's just that he would be just completely immobilized if someone reset his cooldowns. When I use my denials, I really like the cooldown resets, because nobody takes the 0 cooldowns anymore. For just this reason, because these are all powerful. I would have to downgrade one of these guys in order to take a 0 cooldown. I kind of thinking maybe if it comes around again, I might grab that one that does the 50% bleeding, 50% poison for everybody. I would have to get rid probably of this, but it's something to consider. Yeah, it's something to consider. Anyway, this is Petro Loa. He's pretty good, but like I said, I have a little bit of a reservation. Other than that, he's pretty good. He's going to hurt some individuals, and of course, that's what he was made for, right? So anyway, thank you very much for your attention. I really appreciate it. And play games, because games are fun. See ya.